Probably continuing the series, inshallah, regarding the stories of the Quran. The story today is a short one, but it's an important lesson. So this is a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that is not famous, that most of us haven't heard of his name, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals in the Quran that we continue to recite. And the ayah related to that Sahabi is actually in chapter the way in An-Nisa, ayah number 100. So what is the story first? Then we go to the ayah, then we go to the lesson. His name is Dumra ibn Jandal. He was a very old man who accepted Islam in Mecca before Rasulullah migrated to Al-Madinah. But because of his age and his health, he couldn't migrate with Rasulullah to Al-Madinah. You know, the distance is like 450 kilometers. There is no air-conditioned buses or anything at that time. And for a fragile old person with sickness, it really couldn't happen. So he stayed behind while Rasulullah and the companions migrated to Al-Madinah. But shortly after, Mecca felt like a horrible place without Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It felt, he actually described as he felt the two mountains that surrounding Mecca are about to collapse again. He cannot even breathe. So he wanted to migrate despite his health and his age. And he told his children basically, just create like a bed or something that I can migrate on from Mecca to Al-Madinah. And subhanAllah, very shortly after he left Mecca, what he expected happened. Death came to him. So what he did is something really very amazing. His intention was to migrate and give bay'ah, covenant to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a muhajir, as a migrant. So he kind of claps one hand over the other hand and said, "This is my covenant to you, Ya Allah. This is my covenant to you, Ya Rasulullah." And then he died. And he couldn't make it, so he's not a muhajir, he's not a immigrant, with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So what happened is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this ayah, which is ayah 100 in Surah An-Nisa, and the ayah says, وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُرَاغَمًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعًا وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ مُهَاجِرًا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ ثُمَّ يُدْرِكُ الْمَوْتَ فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that whoever migrates seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger, and this come to him before he reaches destination, his reward is not with anyone but with Allah. And Allah didn't even specify the reward. Just say, it's with me, I'll take care of him. And Allah is the most forgiving, most merciful. So here, the message is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of His mercy judges us based on niyyah, intention, not on the results. We may fail in achieving our goal in many things, but if we start with a good intention, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger, that is sufficient to get the reward from Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why, Imam al-Shafi'i say that the very famous hadith that you all know, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, that deeds are just by intention. He characterized this hadith as 1/3 of Islam. That's how important it is. So they say that we need to be merchants in media. Let me explain to you. You can do the same thing, but you can get 3-4 times the reward with one act. I'm going to give you a very simple thing. Actually, Sheikh Mustafa talked about this the other day. You make wudu in your home. Then you come here and you're going to pray 2 rak'ah. You can easily make 3 if not 4 intention for the same 2 rak'ah and get the reward for wudu after, for salah after wudu, for tahiyyat al-masjid, for salah between adhan and iqamah, and if this is before dhuhr or before fajr, for sunnat al-dhuhr or sunnat al-fajr. So here, the same 2 rak'ah, with one intention, you hit the jackpot, as they say, and you are fulfilling so many sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What's the difference? Everyone praying the same 2 rak'ah, your niyyah. See how wonderful that is? The last thing, just to conclude with, we all know the first part of the hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. But we really do not know the last part of the hadith and the funny story associated with it. So actually it has a funny story associated with it. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَلِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى فَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى دُنْيَا يُصِيبُهَا أَوْ امْرَأَةً يَنكِحُهَا فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى مَا هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِ. If you are making migration to seek the pleasure of Allah and His Messenger, it is it. You're going to get the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you are making the migration because of dunya, any material reason, or because you are going after a woman to marry, then your hijrah is for that reason. And actually there was one man who made hijrah, according to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, to Medina, not to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but to get married to a woman he fell in love with. Her name was Qais. So he became, his nickname was Muhajir Qais. He is the one who migrated for Qais, not for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the summary here, keep reviewing your intention, because it is more important than the deed itself. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.